Hello everyone, welcome to Vanguard Tactics. I'm Stephen Box, and if you're interested in Warhammer 40k, then you're in the right place. This is day 53 of the Lockdown Live series where I answer your 40k related questions. Now, I support absolutely every single way to play the hobby, but most importantly for me, I take that critical eye on the competitive side of things. But more importantly than that, really emphasis the. I've just read somebody's comment. It's completely thrown me off. I really, for me, it's all about sportsmanship in fair play. So that's exactly what I'm all about, and hopefully I can help you guys adopt that same level mindset. Okay. So anyway, welcome to the chat. If you haven't joined in before, please ask any question you want whatsoever. Could be a rules clarification, maybe you want some help with your list, maybe it's a new tasty combo that you're thinking about doing, whatever it might be. So please, any question whatsoever. And also I'd love to know where you're listening from. So just introduce yourself, say, hey, I live in Wiltshire in England. It's in the southwest of England. So just let me know where you live. Not that I'm going to stalk you or anything, just that it's really nice for me to know that we've got different people all over the world, all sharing the same passion for this incredible community. So, as you'll notice, I need to shave, by the way, and get a haircut. But look, it's day 52, day 53 now. It's over 8 weeks worth of lockdown, the isolation. So anyway, good news for me though is that because I can go back to work, I can now get the Vanguard Tactics studio up and running. So tomorrow, following all the PP guidance, we're going to be potentially either streaming a game or filming a battle report tomorrow, which is going to be fantastic. So no doubt we'll be wearing masks. If we have to go within 2 meters of each other, we'll be wearing gloves, making sure we're hand sanitizing and all that stuff. So that could be happening tomorrow. So today I've been working on the audio, the lighting, absolutely everything in the studio, which looks brilliant, and I can't wait to share that with you now. Got the logo up on the wall of the studio. So this is actually my home office, and then I've got the studio, which is about a 20-minute drive away. So tomorrow I might be running the Ultramarines. Now Joe, who is one of the Vanguard tacticians that works alongside me now, did this incredible conversion. So let's check him out. This is my new chapter ancient for the Ultramarines. So I've just basically done him grey, and then what I've done then is just kind of gone underneath with a black, and then what I'm going to do on top is go with the Zenithal highlight of a white, and then I'm going to make him blue. So absolutely sick company champion for the Ultras, which I really like. Not company champion, company ancient. Or chapter ancient. Apparently there's no sound. Oh, someone's put joke. Don't do that to me, okay? It's not cool. It's not cool, guys. I panic. I really panic. Wayne said, how will I know it's you if you're wearing a mask? Well, I'll probably wear a similar t-shirt, and I'll probably have my hat on backwards. So if you see somebody wearing a hat on backwards and a mask, you know it's me, okay? There we have it. So I'm going to be recording tomorrow with Jack. So we've got Rizal from Tennessee. How you doing? Henrik from Denmark. Yeah, nice. Monkey Russ 999 from Essex. Need PhD from Wales. Nice. Lincolnshire from Manic Stations. Cool. Right, guys. So throw me your questions, and I'll do my best to answer them. So you've got me for 20 minutes. Let's do this. So Andy said, hey Stephen, you were saying to run a Bastion to keep my Riser destroyers safe. 2 questions. Are Bastions okay in tournament play? And it looks like I have to run 2 for the fortification detachment. So you can minimum 1, I believe, the fortification detachment, and you will just need to run a different detachment for it. But you don't need to have multiple fortifications. And yes, they're fine for comp play, tournament play. JW said, Stephen, when taking Farsight Enclave's crisis suits, are the psychic iron blasters mandatory, or is fusion legit as well? So, to be honest, mate, if you're worried about like the actual model, I would just convert it from something. Find something that looks similar and then just convert that same model. Nobody is gonna care. Like the flamer thing with like that weird barrel shape on it. If you said to me, Steve, this is a psychic iron blaster, I'd be like, looks like one to me. I mean, I have no clue what a psychic iron blaster actually looks like. So as long as there, let's say you're running 3 psychic iron blasters, and on that model they're all the same, I'm not gonna know. I'm literally not gonna know. So don't worry about it. And anyone that does have a problem with it, if they're like, oh wow, actually, you know, that's a fusion what's-a-mit job instead, you can't possibly use that in against me because that would be cheating. No, mate, it's not. It's just that I can't get hold of any, and I've spent some time converting this model to look cool, so we're going to use it. And if not, I'm happily to take him away, but probably still win, because if you're only concerned, this is the thing, those people have got that mindset. Now, if those people have that mindset and you've put the effort in, you've painted him well, you've converted him, and they're still being that guy about it, they're probably awful at the game, because they're so worried about trying to get any advantage they can, is because they need every advantage they can, which probably means they're terrible. Or they're that type of person that's never ever going to self-evolve and never look within to go, how can I improve personally to get better? How can they, you know, break down their own systems and, you know, correct their bad habits? Because they have that, they're either incapable, they just simply don't want to, or I don't know, whatever other reason there is there. But for me, guys, don't worry about it. Honestly, don't worry. Like, this guy's got a sword, yeah? Has he got a sword in the thing? No. Am I paying the points for a sword? No. If I use the sword in combat, I'm cheating, right? And I'm not going to do that, okay? I'm not going to do... So there's a difference between, let's say you've got a model, right? And let's take the Psychic Iron Blaster dude. Let's say you've got 3 different guns, but you say, oh, 2 of them are this, 1 of them's that, and I've got this guy with the same looking gun, but it's actually going to count as this. Yeah, that's a nightmare, right? Because it's so confusing, you don't know which Cold Star Commander's the one with the the Iron Blasters, you don't know which one's the one with the fusion. But if you just said, look, I got 3 commanders, they've got all the 3 gun, let's say you just strapped, I don't know, I'm going to give you a real out there example. Let's say you slapped on 3 star cannons from Eldar onto each one, and you're like, these are my Psychic Iron Blasters. And I know you've got 3 commanders and they've got 3 guns and they're all the same. I don't care. Like, you've had that dialogue with me before. I'm cool with it. You're cool with it. If you're really unsure, then yeah, ask a TO. They probably won't care either. As long as you've made some effort and it's obvious what's what, you're going to be completely fine. All right. So again, that is exactly, hopefully, if those types of people are watching this, and you've been there in the past going, oh, I'm not sure about that, maybe just question why you're doing it, okay? And look within and go, can I be a better player? Can I accommodate my opponent here? And can I accommodate their efforts? Because what we don't want in the hobby is like this barrier of you have to go out and buy so many things to just run the model you want. That's not cool, okay? That's putting a barrier to entry. We don't want a barrier to entry. We want everyone to be able to play a game, you know, with their finances to the best of their ability. And if they've put the effort in, I've got no problem with that whatsoever. All right. So yeah, but any more questions on that, guys? Please let me know, because you know, I'm amongst tournament players all the time, and I know they share the same mindset as I do. Okay, and I know you might be asking me these questions because you feel like if you go to an event that somebody's going to have a problem with you. They're probably not. They're really, really not. All right. So, but then you also can't have a problem if they did exactly the same. All right. Anyway, so it's only cheating if you've modelled a. It's only cheating if you model a thing like the sword, and you don't pay the points for it, and then you start using it in the game. There was a big scenario that happened, I think, not last year at the ATC, but the one before that. One team were, evident for doing it or something. Yeah, that's completely way off. Do you know what I mean? So, nah, no good. Rizzoa said, what is the best Ultramarine Devastator Centurions if you're already running aggressors, that is? Oh, I'd probably run las cannons, I'd probably run some las cannons because you need the range. I'd run las cannons and missile launchers, I think. Probably do that. Have Tiggy nearby, -1 to hit on them. Yeah, I'd probably run that. Now, the thing is, what I'm doing with my Ultramarines instead is running 2 units of normal Devastators with Grav. I don't have the Grav weapons yet, and again, so I'll show you my conversion, okay? So, I want a true scale or full scale Devastators, okay? Now, I want 10 of these guys, so I'm not going to go and buy 100 quid's worth of Grav cannons and throw away the models just to get the Grav cannon. That would be ridiculous. So what I've done instead, I've got loads of these guns kicking about. I've got some intercessors, or this is a Reaver model, but you get the point. And then he has got a silencer from Grey Knights. Now we need a shoulder pad, obviously, but for me, if I said to you, I got 10 of these guys and they've all got the same gun, that's a Grav cannon, what are you going to say to me? That's what I'm going to ask you. What do you think? Have I made an effort? Yes. Have I painted him nicely? Well, not yet, but he will be painted nicely. Is he based? Yes. Is it obvious what it is? Yes. It's pretty obvious because I've just told you what it is. So yeah, just have that same mindset. You'll be fine, okay? Neil said, do you recommend infantry spam or transports for Imperial Guard? Depends on the mission pack, to be honest. It really depends on the mission pack. Whether you're playing WTC, chapter approved, or ITC. It would change depending on the one. JW, I have trouble even getting enough for my commanders yet. Don't worry about it, honestly. I'm very new. How does the rule of 3 work if I want 3 Battle Predators and 3 normal Predators? Is that okay? So, if they are on different data sheets, then yes, it's fine. Okay, so, I mean, I don't know if you're a Blood Angel player though. I mean, you can run the tanks if you want, but that's like, I don't know, Blood Angels. You might have a chainsword and a thunderhammer. Yeah, that's your. You got to think about the army construction. Blood Angels are amazing in combat. All of their buffs and abilities are for combat. They're pointed appropriately for combat. If you run shooting units like Ball Predators and Predators, then you're hamstringing yourself because there's absolutely 0 benefits whatsoever for your shooting phases. If you want lots and lots of tanks, and that's the army you want, you need to decide, is it like a fluffy narrative Blood Angel list you want, then go combat. And if you want a tank army that does well, then go Iron Hands or Imperial Fists, okay? Maybe Ultramarines. But, yeah. Now, so when you look at the data sheet, if it has Battle Predator and the rules for that, and then it's got underneath it Predator, you can have 3 of that one and 3 of that one. If it says Predator and it says you may take the following weapons, twin assault cannon or twin las cannon or auto cannon, then no, you can't because that's on the same data sheet. But because they're separate, you can take 3 of each. All right, but just don't do it. All right, just run Death Company, Sanguinary Guard, Vanguard Veterans. Combat things would be great. Wayne says, some people get very annoyed with what you see is what you get. Yeah, Wayne said, puts a grot on the table and says it's a far sight. Stephen looks at it and goes, yeah, looks good to me. No, so the far side, he obviously has to be on the same size base, and he has to look mildly appropriate to what a far side commander should look like, and be the same size as well. Like, my Primaris guy is actually bigger than a regular Marine, so that actually hinders me because I can't hide them, okay? What we got here? Yeah, Jared has said, I love people that get angry about WYSIWYG but show up with a grey plastic army. Yeah, exactly that, yeah. Monkey Rust 999, building an Eldar Ulthway list at the moment. Guardians or Dire Avengers, which are better? It depends. It depends. I think if you're going to go Guardians, you have to go big on the Guardians. Storm Guardians are cheap though, so you could run 3 units of 8 Storm Guardians just to fill out a battalion. That's an option. But if you want like some horde clearance, then big unit of 20. I'd maybe run big unit of 20 Guardians, and then maybe 2 units of 8 Storm Guardians. Then you've got one big blob can come down from deep strike, nuke a unit, then push on. You could do that. Okay. Sarok 888. One of my first games when I was 15, I came across that guy at half my firearms with pulse carbines, and he made me play them as that. Worst part, that was probably he was playing Steel Legion and probably lost anyway. Absolutely, like you go to a club and you meet someone like that, you're just like, do you know what, mate? It's not worth my time. I'll go and wait and play someone else. I think cool. Have a good life. Move on. If straight away you turn up to the table, you are in control of your happiness. Okay, do not let somebody else have an impact on your happiness. If you love playing with grey plastic models, then find other people that are accommodating for you playing with grey plastic models, okay? If you absolutely hate painting and you just like modelling and using grey plastic models, that's fine. Just find those people that want to play that game as well. I've been playing with Harlequins this last week, and I've been using Cabalite Warriors as Harlequins. I've been using Witches as Harlequins because I've got them in the post and they're on the way here, but until they get here, I'm just practicing, okay? Same size models, same size base, and my mates, when we play test, we don't care, all right? Obviously, I'm not going to take that to a tournament, all right? But it's just a case of be amongst people that you like playing with, that have that same sort of mentality. If you're playing against this guy and he's just being annoying, because when you were 15, you put the wrong gun on the wrong model, you just don't even... you don't even want to play that dude, right? You can just know from the offset, you just ain't going to have a good game, okay? Because you're going to be anyway. We're over it now. We'll move on. Off my rant. I'll get off my soapbox now. So, serious question. What workout split do you prefer to maximise hypertrophy? So, depends, but let's say you're training 4 days a week, I would do an upper lower split. So both your upper body and your lower body gets trained twice a week, and that gives you a good variety across body parts, muscle groups, different ranges, and you should build out pretty good physique over time, providing you're getting enough calories in and eating enough protein, and then you'll build muscle pretty well if you really focus on how to actually perform the exercise. Yeah. Neil said, if you really want, you can buy those parts on a bit store. You can. I'm sure they're out there, but yeah. For me, I wouldn't. I've got 10 of these things kicking about, so I'm just going to run them, Cool. And if I was at a tournament, and so this is how you can play people at their own game, okay? If I went to a tournament and I put down these models, which are beautifully painted, and I'm like, these are grav cannons, mate, okay? You can see on my army list, the grav cannons. And he's like, no, you're not allowed to use them. I'm going to give him okay, I'll take them off the table now. That's fine. And every single indiscretion he ever makes, I'm going to pull him up on it. Every single one. There's going to be no leeway. No takebacks. It's just going to be, I'm going to play him at the same game that he's playing at. And I'm going to say to him at the end, unfortunately, you led us down this path. It wasn't enjoyable for me, and it wasn't enjoyable for you either. Did we achieve what we set out to do, which was have a really good fun game of Warhammer? No. Would it have changed the outcome if I'd have played with grav cannons? Because I paid for the points, took the time in making my model, and he'd probably go, probably wouldn't have made a difference. But we'd have probably both had a really enjoyable game, because I'd have been like, yeah, mate, you know, you need to do that, not a problem. Or we'd be like, oh, I forgot my psychic phase. I'd be like, oh, go back and do it then, that's not a problem. You know, go back and do your psychic phase. I don't have an issue with that. As long as dice haven't been rolled and it doesn't impact the game. You know, that's how I normally like to play. Okay, but just remember, you've always got that as well. Okay, so and people learn, you know, from different ways, right? Or you, like, I know one guy. So this happened to Dan, a friend of mine, Dan, with the Warhammer World GT. This guy was kicking off about the fact that he had Dark Lancers on his Ravagers, and he's, you know, they're all the same. Use them as disintegrator cannons. And his opponent complained about him to the TO because he said that they were Dark Lancers and not whatever disintegrators. And Dan just went, do you know what, mate? Have the game, and then just took a loss. And his opponent was just sat there with nobody to play because he was, again, it was just going to cause not a very nice environment, and Dan took himself out of that. So credit to him, I say, credit to him. Yeah. So Phil said, great rant, well said, not a problem. Someone said, hey Stephen, do you think new Harlequins want to maximise CPs from detachment right now? Minimum 2 battalions. Yeah, I'm actually running 3 battalions. Harlequins are very good. I love them. They were good before, to be honest, but now Harlequins are probably on the highest skill curve there is. You're going to lose so many games with them until you've got like hundreds of game reps in with them and you finally figure out how they work. But yeah. Neil said, do you recommend infantry spam or transport for ITC Imperial Guard? So the problem is, Neil, is if you have too many infantry and you're giving away kills, and if you're hemorrhaging kills, you're never going to get the kill more. Now that means that you have to get the hold more, and Guard don't tend to do that particularly well. So I wouldn't go for infantry spam necessarily. And if you go for transport spam and you get wrapped by all the combat armies that are out there now, it's game over for you. So I probably would go neither. And I would really rely on things like Bullgrin to do the work, basilisks, a little bit of infantry that can just move block, you know, shield and screen out and stop you getting wrapped and trapped and stuff. Yeah. So here we go. JW said, go into Chaos for a bit now. Would you say that a decent gun line to take Plasma Termies unless you take Will Bear's Red Butchers? Then you go Bolt Racks. Yep, I'd agree, JW, on that one. Right, I'm going to quickly shoot down to the bottom. Robert said, is the start collecting Space Marine box worth it? I really like the Vanguard one. That one for me is fantastic. I love the value of the Vanguard. The suppressors. So let's run through the units. The captain, great, lovely model. You can use them as whatever, lieutenant, captain, whatever. Yeah. Or the infiltrators, you can use them as infiltrators or incursors. Great. You could even use them as intercessors as well. You've got suppressors, great. Eliminators, great. Every single option, great. That's the best box, absolutely. Darylyn said, what army would you recommend if I want to play a fast-paced, pure-paced melee combat army? Blood Angels, Eldar, Dark Eldar, Harlequins, something like that. Be pretty good. What are the essential buys for a budding NID player? Got 40 Gene Stealers, Broodlord, Swarm Lord so far. Dan Jones, Hive Guard, mate. 6 Hive Guard, an Exocrine, maybe some splash of Gene Stealer Cult in there as well. Maybe some Atalan Jackal Bikes, they could be cool. Yeah. Space Clown Posse is very hard to master. If you're not there yet, you will lose. Yeah, absolutely. Brian, you're late. It's 6:30, mate. You just turned up, and I've just had a massive rant, Brian. You'd love it. You'd absolutely love my rant I've just been on, I think. Keith has said, I recently kit bashed a Salamander's Smash Captain with a jetpack and Thunderhammer. What combination of weapons, relics, and warlord traits would I run to make him deadly in close combat as possible? Keith, that's a fantastic question. Where was that at 6 o'clock? You know, we're at 6:30 now, and I've got to go. But Keith, come back tomorrow, and I'll have a little look at the Salamander's book for you and give you some feedback tomorrow. Okay, Keith? I'd have to go through the codex because it's not currently in here. So I'll just be telling you some rubbish, and I don't want to do that. So I can have a little look, come back tomorrow at 6, and you never even know. We might be even at the studio, and I could even be with Jack. 2 meters apart, though. Okay, you'll see us 2 meters apart. We'll probably have masks on, but anyway, guys, we'll see you tomorrow at 6 o'clock. Stay healthy, stay safe, do some exercise, and remember, conversions are cool. And don't be that guy, okay? Words to live by. See you later, guys.